Hey, how's it going there, officer? What's
How
your
you
name?
doing?
What's your name and your badge number?
Officer Bush, 4680.
Thank you so much for being professional. What's your name and badge number, sir?
Officer Hines, 04918.
Thank you so much for being professional.
I asked the young man if he needed anything when I realized that he was reporting my customers, and I'm like, I don't appreciate that. If he's able to help you, go ahead and let me know what you need. And he just continued recording. And the young lady that was sitting over here in line in queue, she was getting uncomfortable, when the customers.
Totally
That's not
understandable.
okay. It's not appropriate. So please, can you leave the property?
Okay.
Since you are not conducting any postal business. So he refused to do so.
Okay,
I
well,
felt the need for you guys to come on by.
sounds like you need to leave the property or we're going to take you to jail.
Well, come over here. Over here. Okay. Watch this. Over here. This is.
Are you willing to
Listen.
Yes, sir.
Check this out.
Excellent. All
We
right.
can't have
Can we get a supervisor? Can we
We
get?
can talk outside.
No, right here. Listen. No. This is poster 7. This is the rules and
But she
regulations.
said you're not conducting any postal business.
Listen to me, sir.
Okay, let's talk outside.
But this is the rule.
Come on. There you go.
Listen,
What
look
is
at
your
this.
vehicle?
Look at this. That's the rules and regulations saying I can't, sir. You didn't just
But you're not.
I was just
You're
trying
not
to show.
conducting
I did. I asked her for a passport. I left and gave the lady her own personal space.
That's not what
you
you
just
told
grabbed my arm. I
Yes,
got
ma'am.
everything on camera.
Uh-huh.
Can we
Yes,
get a
so do I.
supervisor? Can we get a supervisor out here, please?
Well,
Please.
you need to leave.
This is public property. That's
it's
a
not.
lobby.
No, it is not. This
Listen,
is a private
It's actually
business.
a private
Li-
entity.
li-
I know
li-
it says United States Postal Service.
Constitutional protections or allow personal discomfort and ego to override the law rights when interacting with public officials and law enforcement. In this incident, a citizen lawfully records inside a public-facing government facility, exercising a protected First Amendment activity. Almost immediately, tensions rise when postal employees express discomfort, leading to police involvement. Rather than assessing the legality of the situation, officers appear eager to escalate the encounter. The viewer is introduced to a recurring issue seen across many similar cases. Lawful behavior being mischaracterized as suspicious or disruptive. The narration sets the tone by emphasizing how quickly misunderstandings, personal feelings, and authority misuse can collide. This opening establishes the central conflict, whether public officials will uphold constitutional
It's actually a private entity.
You were told to leave. You did not leave.
Listen real quick,
Are you
sir.
refusing to leave now?
I'll under threat of arrest, I'll leave. But listen,
Okay, good.
But
Go.
listen, there's a poster 7 in there that says I have the. Just go look, sir. Can you please go look?
But here's the one thing I do know. I understand if this is a government building. I understand if this is a police station. I understand all that on a government building. Yes.
And one more thing, sir. You know, right now I'm doing a protected activity,
No, but-
First Amendment,
no,
freedom of the press. This is freedom of the
You've been
press.
told to leave. You refuse to leave.
That was our first time ever saying to leave, sir. I got everything
But
on
the Uni-
camera.
Right, but the United States Postal Service actually is a private entity. It's not. I understand it says government, United States Postal Service, but it's actually a private entity.
Okay.
So it's not like.
And can we get a supervisor, please? I'm gonna go stand on the sidewalk,
We've
but.
got a supervisor in the room.
And I'm gonna go stand on the sidewalk because you did tell me to leave. But when I go stand on the sidewalk, can you please? That's the rules and regulations of postal property. There's a section for photos and photography. Can you please read that? It says I can take it in the foyer, lobbies, entrances.
Okay.
It's right there. I'm gonna go stand there. We're gonna wait on your supervisor, and they're gonna let you guys know. Wow, man, you put your hands on me. That's an assault, man. If I haven't committed a crime, you can't walk me out. You can't put your hands on nobody. Ooh, buddy. Ooh, buddy. How you doing, sir? You sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Turner, how may I help you?
Hey, can I get your name and badge number of post just for the record?
My name? I just told you. My name
I
is
couldn't hear with the
I'm
wind.
Sergeant Turner. My badge number is 4944, serial number.
Yes, sir. I came in here today just to kind of get some public information.
As officers arrive on the scene, the situation escalates rapidly. The citizen calmly requests badge numbers, documenting the interaction professionally. Meanwhile, a postal employee claims customers feel uncomfortable due to being recorded. Officers accept this claim without independent verification, treating discomfort as justification for removal. Despite the citizen referencing posted regulations, specifically Poster 7, which allows photography in lobbies and foyers, officers dismiss these rules without review. One officer physically grabs the citizen's arm, prompting allegations of unlawful force. This moment marks a critical turning point, where lawful recording transitions into an alleged act of assault by an officer. The exchange demonstrates how a failure to understand policy and constitutional law can quickly transform a routine encounter into a rights violation.
Information. I know I have every right to record in here. It actually have a poster 7 in there with the rules and regulations on poster property, saying that photos and photography may be taken in the lobbies, foyers, and corridors.
Okay.
Clear as day. Right when I walked in, the lady she triggered the issue. She said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I said, "I'm just recording." She's like, "Well, you can't record here. You can't record my customers." She said, "This lady do not want to be recorded." The lady didn't even say nothing yet. But I even left the building just to give the lady her privacy, which I really don't even have. I didn't have to do that.
Okay.
Anything I see in public, I can record. That was just a little lobby. I wasn't going to be in there that long. Look how little it is. There's nothing in there.
Okay.
But I did ask them for a passport. They let me know I have to go to another building. I couldn't even get public information to ask them. I'm just documenting as I'm handling my business. These gentlemen, I forget his name, but he actually grabbed me and pulled me out the office. Not even letting me show him the rules and regulations on postal property. This is a First Amendment protected activity. You cannot turn that into a crime. You and the postal people took an oath to uphold the Constitution. And you pulled me out the building, sir, when I'm telling you I have the right to do so.
You weren't leaving when you told me.
I don't have to leave. They can't make me leave just because I got a black shirt on. I have to commit a crime for you to make me leave this property.
They ask you to leave.
They can't just ask me to leave. No, it's not. That's not how trespass works, sir. If I'm at the police department, you can't just say, "Hey, leave." I have to commit some type of crime.
Or if you're causing the disturbance,
I didn't
making
cause it.
people feel uncomfortable.
I didn't.
That's another.
Come on,
other
Sarge.
situation.
Come on, Sarge. Now, I'm not making nobody uncomfortable about.
The arrival of a supervising sergeant temporarily de-escalates the situation. The citizen explains, in detail, the legal basis for recording inside the postal lobby, citing federal regulations and constitutional protections. He explains that he was not obstructing business, creating noise, or interacting with customers. The narration underscores a common misconception that public discomfort alone constitutes disorderly conduct. The citizen asserts that protected activity cannot be criminalized simply because it makes someone uneasy. The sergeant listens more attentively, acknowledging that recording in public spaces is generally lawful. However, ambiguity remains as the discussion shifts toward vague interpretations of disturbance, illustrating how unclear enforcement standards often lead to inconsistent and subjective policing.
Recording. You can't turn protected activity
On that,
into a crime.
You're absolutely right. You can record anybody you want.
And I didn't
You're
say
not
nothing.
Interfering with anybody's
I'm not
work or anything like that.
They came out to me.
Okay. All right.
It's a little lobby, sorry. Once you walk in there, you see it's little. It's nothing too much you can do or say. I just had a couple questions. I was in there 20 seconds and the lady ran out to me. It wasn't even 20 seconds.
You got that on your phone?
I got that. See, the lady was outside. She was outside getting something out somebody's car. So when I walked in, she came in right behind me and was like, "Hey, what are you doing? You can't record." So, and what's your name again? Your name and badge number?
Officer Buck.
Bush put his hands on me and pulled me out the office.
Yes, it did. Because you refused
They
to
wanted
leave
you
when I
to
told
leave, but I'm going to go talk. I haven't talked to the manager. So I'm gonna go
Okay.
talk.
And you gotta let him know, just because they want me to leave minus a crime, that you can't do that.
Trespassing is a crime.
Trespassing is a crime, but I wasn't trespassing. You gotta commit a crime first. You gotta commit a crime first, sir. 25 years, and you ain't got that. Was you able to see poster 7?
Say again?
Was you able to see the rules and regulations on the wall?
Did you also see the rules about disorderly conduct and if you're impeding customers doing
I didn't
business?
say nothing to nobody, sir. Right when I walked in, the lady she came outside. So right when I came in, she came right behind me. I didn't even know who she was. She just started talking to him. She could have been a customer. I don't know. Once I noticed that the lady was really just uncomfortable, I went outside so she could handle her business. And then just came back. And I only hung around because they said they was calling.
And how citizens are often forced to educate authorities on the very laws they are sworn to uphold. Next voice next. The citizen argues that trespass requires a lawful order based on a violation, not mere presence or attire. He challenges the notion that recording equates to interference, emphasizing that silence and non-engagement cannot reasonably disrupt business operations. The sergeant references internal regulations regarding customer comfort, while the citizen counters with constitutional precedent. This segment reveals the fragile balance between maintaining order and respecting civil liberties. The documentary highlights how quickly legal discussions become muddled when officers rely on feelings rather than statutes.
You guys.
Right now, you're on sidewalk anyway. You're on public property. And here's the deal: in that foyer is public property. You're correct about that. But the issue is when you're making customers uncomfortable. That's a prohibited act, which is on that rules and regulations. If you're impeding any business, any customers doing business, that's a prohibited act. That's on that rules and regulations.
This is a First Amendment protected activity. You cannot turn a First Amendment protected activity into a crime. That's public property. I'm not saying nothing. I can record. Your feelings don't overrule my constitutional right. So if you're uncomfortable with me recording you and we're in public, you go to Disneyland with Disneyland with your kids and you about to take a picture. You gonna make everybody behind you sign a waiver? They uncomfortable being on your...
Let me read the actual word.
Come on, Sergeant. Come on, get them. This is public. This is public
You're right,
property.
it is a public building, but if you're making people uncomfortable, I'll read this to you so you can get it all on your disorderly conduct.
I'm not impeding
that
it.
creates loud or unusual noise, or which impedes entrance or departure to post offices, or otherwise obstructs the usual use of
I didn't do none of that.
foyers, corridors,
I didn't do none of that.
elevators, stairways,
None of that.
parking lots, or which otherwise tend to impede or disturb the public.
I didn't do none of that.
You just said in your own words that you made that gal uncomfortable.
I didn't do none of that.
Which is their right to do. In order to...
As the conversation continues, contradictions in enforcement become increasingly apparent. The sergeant acknowledges the public nature of the space and concedes that recording is permitted. Yet, warnings persist about potential future enforcement if complaints arise again. This conditional tolerance underscores a troubling reality. Constitutional rights are sometimes treated as privileges dependent on public approval. The citizen remains composed, reiterating that rights do not disappear because others feel uneasy. The narration emphasizes that rights exist precisely to protect unpopular or misunderstood actions. This moment encapsulates the broader issue: how inconsistent interpretations allow officials to selectively enforce rules, creating uncertainty and chilling lawful expression in public spaces.
Sure that the post office operates as well as it can. Now you're out here, you can record all you want. We can't keep you from going back in there now once we leave. But again, if you continue to do the acts that make people uncomfortable, make the workers and make the public in general uncomfortable when they go in there to conduct their business, I'm sure we're going to be called back out here. And then we'll call the postal inspector and have them come and take care of it.
Okay. And again, one more thing, you guys.
You already have this info?
No, we've not.
You just want to give it? Do you want to provide us your information?
Am I obligated? Okay. So can I go back in there?
It's only fair since you got all our information.
You're public. You're a public servant. I'm private.
Back and settle.
He said I can go back in there. He said he finna leave.
We can't stop at this point. I mean, that's right.
Damn, look at this dude.
That's like I said.
Wow, man, this. Oh, man, he wanted to make an arrest so bad. Wow.
The documentary concludes by reflecting on the broader implications of the encounter. While the citizen is ultimately allowed to remain on public property, the damage is already done. Physical contact occurred, misinformation was spread, and authority was exercised without proper legal grounding. The closing narration stresses that incidents like this are not isolated, but part of a growing pattern where ego and misunderstanding overshadow constitutional duty. Viewers are reminded that accountability begins with awareness. Knowing one's rights is essential, not to provoke conflict, but to prevent abuse. The documentary ends with a call to action. Stay informed, document responsibly, and continue holding public officials accountable to the law they are sworn to protect.
So hello guys, welcome back, and you can see now there is trading setup, and there is today's I'm going to live trading. You know, and the trading going on downside. Why are you? ना ऐसा ना करो bro. Oh, here you can see now the trade is going on up, and I'm buying upside trades because trends gone up, you know. the trade is loss. I'm making some videos because keep like चल अप्लाई करा ना वीडियो बना रहे हो shit. Here today's and loss some trades. You know, that's why I am going. I am done. आज के लिए इतना ही. This is today's loss.